All right, good morning. Today I've got some a fun exercise for you guys. We're going to be using Picasa, which is another Google app. I've actually already downloaded it here on my computer, but I'm going to walk you through how to do that. I'm going to show you some of the really cool stuff that you can do with your images without needing any sort of fancy, expensive uh, photo editing software. So the first thing I'm going to do, just like it says in the directions on Schoology, is I'm going to go to picasa.google.com. And when I get here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit download Picasa. And you're going to wait for 1 second. It's going to download and it's going to pop up right here. When it pops up, just go ahead and click that you want to allow the following program to make changes to the computer. Just hit yes. Go hit agree. Go hit install. It'll take a moment. And once it installs, it'll be good to go. So we'll hit finish. So here's Picasa. It just loaded on my computer, and so now I'm like pretty much 100% ready to get going with my assignment. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the internet where I had my Picasa open, and I want to actually start by going to images.google.com. Now, in the directions on Schoology, it goes through this, but really what we need to do to make this work is you're going to need 5 images. So you're going to choose a theme. It can be anything. It could be farm animals. It could be ocean-like life. It could be your dream vacation. It could be the college of your choice. It could be a bunch of pictures of like you and your friends or you and your family, whatever you would like. And sometimes that could be fun. If you have a friend or a family member who has a birthday coming up, find some pictures of that. For me, I'm going to choose like a tropical vacation. And so like the first picture I might look up is like tropical palm trees, right? Now I would use some of the tools that we've already learned in this class. I would go to size, choose large, because I don't want any of these images to be blurry when I use them. And I always love the picture of like trees, kind of like palm trees hanging out over the ocean. I'm gonna give it a second to for the image to load. And you may decide, actually, in the scheme of things, like this one, it seems like it's done loading, but it looks really blurry, so I don't really like that too much. Okay? So I am going to try and find like an image that looks good. Here we go. So now that one looks nice and sharp. I'll go to Save Image As, and what I did is on my desktop, I created a folder, right, called Tropical Holiday Vacation. And I'm going to call this one Palm Trees Along the Beach. Okay? Make sure you have a good name for it so that you know exactly what it is. And you can see I've actually spent some time finding other pictures that I like. And I'm going to just add this to the group. So I'm going to hit save. And right here, when I save it onto my desktop, you can see it actually gets automatically dragged into Picasa. That is a really nice feature. So now I'm in Picasa, and here's the folder that's on my desktop. Now the first thing I can do is I can actually go ahead, I can click on these images, and I can go down here and I can add tags to my images. Notice that they actually added tags already when I downloaded this from the internet. So that anybody who does a Google search for Casas Brancas, Posada, or Restaurante, that it's going to come up with that image, right? I could also add some of my own tags, like dinner, with the family, depending on what like applies to me. This image right here, I can add some tags, like fun in the ocean, boogie boarding, big wave, and so on. And it's helpful, it can be helpful to like locate images sometime to add some tags. That can be helpful for us. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, and what it says in the directions, okay, is, and I'm on step 6, is that I want to create a folder to store my 5 images. Okay, I'm going to do that by either, if they're all in the same place, I can drag and highlight them, right? Or if they're in different places, I need to hold down Control on my keyboard, and I can select just individual ones. You see how I did that? I selected just 1, 2, 3 without highlighting everything. Okay, for me, I want to highlight all of them. And at the bottom of your screen, you'll see it says Add Selected Items to Album. So I'm going to say New Album, and in the directions it says to name the album Picasa Task 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and name the album Picasa Task 1. It's got today's date, right? And I'm going to hit OK. When I do that, what's nice is it moves like all of those images that I want to be in this album to the very top under Albums. Okay. Now, the next step, step 8, says that I want to open the folder and double click on one of the photos to try and edit it, right? Try different editing effects by clicking on the icons on the top left of the screen. So this is really neat. I'm going to double click here and it opens up this editing panel. Now, I don't need to do any like red eye reduction because there's no people in this one, right? I could play around with some of the options here, right? When I choose like auto color, for example, I have an option to kind of like brighten it up if it was like a little dark. Sometimes you might take a picture and it's got pretty bad exposure, right? And if you like it, that's great. You can move on. If you don't like it, you can say undo and it will undo it. Okay? You also have the same options here, right? This again is like to help your lighting. So if you took a picture and it's dark out, right, you can actually make it brighter so that it's easier to see the people. Okay, you could change the highlights, right, or create more contrast. And same thing with like making like some darker shadows. Okay, again, if you're happy with everything, that's great, right? If you decide I'm not happy with it, you say undo, and it'll revert back to its original form. Okay? Let's keep going. These are some other neat ones. Let's say you took a picture and you really like the idea of it being a black and white image. That's easy. You just click on black and white, right? In the next area, right, we can actually even make it like a little bit darker. We can add some grain, right? And we can even create like a fade within there, okay? And lastly, okay, and again, these are just great opportunities for you to play around with these different options, right? I can give my image a vignette, and I can actually kind of make it look like it's falling into the background. Okay, I can apply these and I can play around and look at all of the different options. What you're going to do is when you're done with this, right, and so you can see like I've totally changed the look of my image now. Is I can hit apply. Okay? I'll go back to library and here's my image that I changed. You always have the option, right, to undo all edits. Okay? And that'll allow you to go right back to like its original form so that you notice no difference. Okay? Once you've done that, right, what you want to do is you want to take like your original photo, you can take it right from your desktop, right? And you're going to screenshot this image using the snipping tool. And that's what you're going to submit in Schoology. Okay? On your blog, I'm asking for you specifically to insert this picture and the original picture that you used so that I can see, a comparison between the two. Okay? So that's your assignment. That's Picasa Task 1. Have fun. Take your time. Play around with the editing options. And that's it for now.